Hello, my darlings. It's Michaela. So I am sharing a talk about video. I gave this talk 2 weeks ago at my women's networking group, WEBOND, in Warren. That meets at the East Bay Chamber of Commerce on Tuesdays at noon. It's super civilized. And each week, someone gives a presentation on something. So people get to learn something useful for their own business or life, as well as get to know about what someone else offers. So at any rate, I am a lover of social media, and I make a ton of videos. So there was a request for me to share about it, especially from someone who is not technologically inclined. So that is this talk, okay? So basically, I started off just sharing why video is so powerful. And essentially, you get a great sense of someone when you watch a video of them. It's very engaging, and with that, trust gets built. With that also, trust is built and a relationship begins to be formed. There is something called attraction marketing that is happening more and more nowadays, which is thrilling, which is based on relationships. So because there's so many means to contact a person, whether that's email, on social media, obviously traditional things in terms of marketing, billboards and radio commercials and TV commercials and things in movies and magazines and all this other stuff. There's a lot of chatter. And so attraction marketing basically is a situation where the provider is sharing information that is useful, content that is useful. And what starts to happen is they develop followers. They develop people that start to, that want to know about what they're sharing and then start to trust them as a result of them sharing useful information. And the thing that's awesome about this is that it feels good for everyone. It feels exciting for the person that is sharing the information, because they care about it, because it's useful, because it's relevant. And the person that's receiving the information is happy as well. I'm receiving free content that is making my life better. And so anyway, what starts to happen with this is trust is created, a relationship is formed, and then when someone suggests something that potentially is for purchase, the person that's been the recipient of this information over time, or short or long, however that works, is more inclined to make an investment. And so we are primitive beings and we need to feel trust. We are generally distrustful at the beginning, but if we have enough exposure and then we feel comfortable with the person that's suggesting it and what they're suggesting is what we might need or want, chances are we are going to take action on that. Obviously there's many variables, but that's kind of how it works, which is elegant, it is graceful, it is respectful, and it's logical as well. So at any rate, there's a man, Ray Higdon, who's big in network marketing, big in online marketing, and I've been learning more about this because of him to a degree, but he talks about something called an acronym ILT, Invest, Learn, Teach. And so when you are when you are making videos, when you are doing something online, positioning yourself as an expert is a very useful place to be coming from. And so how to be seen as an expert essentially is just to educate people. So he has this little acronym ILT, and so basically it's like, oh, okay, you're curious about something, you want to learn about something, so I'm going to invest money in a course, resources, whatever it is. I'm going to learn about it, and then I'm going to teach others. And so what's amazing about that is it enables one to essentially learn about what they're interested in, invest in what they're interested in, teach more people, and become more credible as a result, and then ultimately, probably, create more, a bigger client base or more consumers based on your knowledge. And so it's just like win-win, win-win, win-win-win all across the board. And that is, truthfully, that is my fat burning story. I was interested in it. It was important to me. So I learned about it. I invested time and resources into it. And now it is probably one of the biggest things that I share. So at any rate, study what you love. Study what's important to you, because chances are it's important to other people as well. Okay? So at any rate, I wanted to break this up into 3 main segments when you're making a video. So there's a technical piece, structure and strategy, and then number 3 is confidence and clarity. Okay? So number 1, technical. So I'm not a technologically inclined person or adept person, but I make this happen because it's simple. And one thing I just want to say about any sort of media, if it's not simple and easy and quick, it's not going to happen. So at times people have, given me very welcome advice about how I can improve videos. And the truth is, if I need another person, or if I have to purchase something else that's pricey, or if I need more apparatus, it's just not going to happen. And so content is king. The packaging matters far less than the information that you're sharing. So if you're sharing something that's useful, that is valuable, okay? So don't get hung up on, the video quality, or, it's not looking professional. Don't worry about it. Sharing something that is useful, that can help people's lives, improve their lives, get them what they want, that is what people care about, okay? So at any rate, what do we videotape these things on? Smartphones, iPads, and basically there's a video function on all of them, setting them up, and basically so what I tend to do is you can flip the angle of the camera, the direction of the camera. So generally it's pointing out. There's a little icon, you can flip it to face you. This is what I do. So I put I set it to video, I flip the little camera around, and then I can see myself. And what I do is I know what I'm going to talk about. Basically I do a dry run. I just talk and I see myself in this process. So I'm reinforcing what I want to say, and then I'm able to notice lighting and angle and where I am in this frame. So there isn't, a big mix-up at the end. I'm actually able to witness what I'm going to look like, and how long it's going to take as well. So that's super useful. And then basically when you're done with your video, the shorter the better. A minute would be amazing. Apparently, after like a minute and a half, people's attention drops radically. So the shorter it is, the better. Or you can segment things. You can do little, make a video maybe that's a couple minutes, another couple minutes, if that feels better. Or you can do what I'm doing, which is just to kind of cram a bunch of information down someone's throat because they're expecting a presentation. So that can be a little bit different, okay? But the shorter the better, always. And what that's also an indication of is honoring your audience's attention. When people kind of like drift around and aren't super clear about the information that they're sharing, to me, and not that I'm like, I try, is what I'll say, but basically you're kind of not honoring someone's energy, like in the time that they're investing. If you can tighten it up, do so, okay? And people will thank you for it and probably stay and watch the whole thing. So at any rate, when you make this video, you want to put it on YouTube. Get a YouTube channel if you don't have one. All you need is a Gmail account. It is free, but you want to be able to track the attention that it's getting, okay, the number of views. So at any rate, I would suggest that you name your YouTube channel your name. Maybe you want to name it your business's name, but your business name has the opportunity to change, or not just be personal to you. or only connected to you. If that's a different situation, then name it after your business, whatever you wish, but it just creates a little more flexibility and longevity. So at any rate, so you want to put it on YouTube and then put it on social media, okay? Because it'll continue to capture all the views. On Instagram, you just share, you're only able to share 15-second segments. And with that, what you can do is you can kind of take a few little nuggets. You can use them in different scenarios. And what you can also do when you share that 15-second video, you can say, check out the full video. The link is in my bio. So on Instagram, you can put your YouTube link, or you could have it on your website, and you could have your website link there as well, okay? So sometimes that's a palatable way for people to start to get a sense of what you're talking about, and then to decide, yeah, this is useful. I'm going to travel and find it, and then spend 7 minutes hearing the whole thing, all right? Or whatever it is. Editing. I have no idea how to edit. I tried, and like kind of miserably failed, frankly. I'll take another stab at it, but to have a video, you don't need to know how to edit it. Apparently iMovie is really great and super simple for some of us. There's other options, but if this is, don't let it get in your way, basically. And if you want to edit it and you have no idea how to do it, get help, okay? I mean, a lot of people say, like, on YouTube, there's all sorts of tutorial videos on how to edit, and I'm sure there are. I will also own that it's not always so useful or simple. Sorry, it is useful. It's just not simple for some of us who aren't technologically inclined. Okay. Okay. So number 2, strategy and structure. So basically, strategy, we actually just talked about putting it on YouTube, sharing little clips, linking things in your bio. Title. Have it be clear, actually. I would say, you know, if you're going to send an email, have that title be catchy and interesting so someone wants to click. For a title for a video, talk about what it's about, because that's what people are going to look for. Also, you can tag your video. You want to do this, and basically you can put an unlimited number of tags, and really what you're tagging is elements of this content. So if I were to tag this video, which I will, so I would say, you know, video making, maybe women's networking, social media, attraction marketing, whatever else. And so what that does is it just enables people to find what you're sharing based on what it's about. Okay, so it's very useful. You can also do hashtags on Instagram, and people will search for certain things, and it'll just get you more exposure. Okay, so number 2 is structure. So when you're making a video, there's basically 4 things. You want to introduce yourself. You want to pose a question or a problem. You want to share the solution that you're suggesting. And then you want to give your audience a call to action. And this actually I learned from that man, Ray Higdon, Higdon, which I thought was super useful. So basically, at the beginning of my video, I said, hello, my darlings, it's Michaela. So the question or the problem, what we're doing, we're going to talk about how to make a video. The solution that you're suggesting is all of this business. And then a call to action. When I gave my talk at WEBOND, my website is coming. Hang on with me, please. Keep the faith as I am. But basically, my call to action was connecting with me on social media. So finding me on Facebook, following me on Instagram at Michaela Shine, subscribing to my YouTube channel, maybe finding me on LinkedIn. And so all of those things were great for me at this moment in time. But I will also say that his statement about most people's call to action was kind of weak. That it was generally, you just watch my video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, awesome, but not necessarily super powerful. The things that actually seem to be a little more, that have a little more of an impact, is to invite someone to come back to your site because of something that they might want. So, for example, we're making this video. Something I talk a lot about is fat burning. That's a common offering that I share. So for me, it might be something like, if you want to know more about how fat burning works, if you have a desire to see if you're a sugar burner or if you're a fat burner, come back to my site, michaelafolks.com, and you'll have a chance to grab a free report or to grab a free questionnaire to see where you are. And so what that does, it drives traffic to your site, but generally with this additional offer is the basically a possibility for someone to share their information with you, to share their email address, to basically get on your list, to indicate, they have indicated that they're interested in your offerings. And so marketing to the people that are interested in your offerings is a great place to put your attention. So this is a very passive way for someone to feel, for someone to get to your site. It's a low risk situation for them to, basically they're investing, they're giving some of their information to get something that seems useful and relevant to them. So it's a pretty low risk situation for benefit for both sides. So at any rate, so that's your call to action. But getting them connected or staying connected to you in some form or fashion is really, really useful. Okay, and again, this creates a relationship for the future, which is great. So number 3 is confidence and clarity. And so where most people get hung up on making a video is feeling uncomfortable. They may be a frickin' content matter expert. They may be a total whiz in the world of technology, but where a lot of people get really nervous is about speaking to an audience. And I'll just say a few things that have totally curbed any sort of self-consciousness on my end, is being focused on why I'm sharing this thing to begin with. Why does this matter? Or this does matter. I'm focused on your understanding versus perceived judgment. If you know what you're talking about and you know why this is important for you, which inevitably it'll be important for other people, you will just wipe that self-consciousness out of your mind. And that's communicated when you communicate as well. It's far more compelling when someone is engaged and excited about what they're sharing and feeling passionate about this information. And so with that, sharing what you love, sharing what you know, and then basically something else I think that is really useful is to share when you're inspired. So if you're super excited to talk about something that is pertinent to the season, or that you just learned that has zero to do with the season, or there's a holiday upcoming that you feel like you should be talking about regarding your business or whatever, and you're not really that jazzed about it, don't talk about that. Talk about what you're excited about. Or if there's a way for you to kind of work your way back into sharing about this thing that you know is essential or going to be really useful for others and for your business, figure out a way to get excited about that. Talk about that from the place of being excited. And so with that, it's compelling, okay? And it feels good for you. And I will say this, such a foundation, a cornerstone of my approach with work is that it has to feel good for you. And if it feels good for you, it kind of feels good for the world. So take off the hair shirt and do stuff that you love, and the world will follow. That's kind of it. And with that, I learned about this in network marketing, but basically when you are sharing something, do it because you have to do it. Do what you do because it's essential for you. Something that I I think when people start to put themselves out a little bit more, to be a little more visible, people can get all sorts of emotionally rocky in terms of people responding, people not responding, and essentially think about being like the sun. And so every day you rise, not because someone is down on the ground waiting for you or clapping when you have arrived, but because it's what you do. And so when that starts to be a little more of a focus in our actions, they're sustainable. They're for us, which always is for someone else. Always, always, always. And it feels clean. It feels light. It feels loving. It feels probably fun. And it's something which will enable you to continually share, because there is a nourishment that comes to you in the act or from the act of doing it versus the reaction or the result that you're expecting to receive. Okay? So that's that. And then finally, I just want to say that so whether your business seemingly lends itself to making videos or not, make them. Make videos for information that you share over and over again. If there's something that you explain to your clients, or even just people around you, your family, your friends, if people ask you the same questions over and over again, and you feel like you're like, having a string pulled on your back, and repeating the same information, make a video about it. And the reason why is because it makes things more efficient on your end. Additionally, what you can also do is it can be a way to educate your clients and qualify them. So people need education in order to make a decision. So what you can start to do is actually have contact with your clients or your prospective clients, start to figure out what they need, and then you can start to have them check something out should they wish to know more about blank, or more about your business, or more about an aspect of your business. And what that can do is it can help them. It feels personal because this is you face to face, but yet you're doing this once and you're not spending 20 minutes to share this information over and over and over again. So at any rate, it can still feel personal, but it can be far more efficient for your time, and it provides the same result, which is educating your clients or your prospective clients in order to help them to make a decision. Okay? Or your family members. So anyway, that's it. All right? So I hope that was useful. I hope that was digestible. And please be in touch if you have any more questions, and stay in touch in some form or fashion with social media. And if you want to check out MichaelaFolks.com, do it, and it will be becoming more and more robust in the future, which is super duper exciting. All right. So anyway, thank you for your attention. Love you all. Can't wait to see your video. Get back in touch about that.